Yea, though I trod through this valley, yeah, say I will fear no evil, cause I know Jah guide, Jah guide, Jah guide, yeah. Jah guide, 10-star general all the while, yeah, through all of these valleys. Blessed love, this is Earl Manic, and you're listening to the live conversation show with the 10-star general. Keep it locked, don't go nowhere. Ira.
Greetings, my peeps. This is the original Brown Sugar, aka Shezzy. Tune in to the live conversation show with 10-star general and Sharon Mango.
Greetings, SPRB friends and family. I'm Nana Genesis, and I fully endorse 10-star General and Sharon Mango.
Yeah, man. Choo-choo. Choo-choo. From Kingston to Lavante. Rude boy. Make us stop about this. Boy, boy. Hey now, way now. Rock, God is job. Morning and evening. Listen, it's time to put all the differences aside and take a check. We lost a lot of lives. Not cute, not realistic, no life. Them dead before the 25. Can see you hiding in the lane. Why you causing so much pain? Who you gonna blame? Barely learned to read, but you know to fire gun. And now the baby father won't be going home. Who says it's got to be this way? Police and rude boys begging you for ease off. Because we're out of many, but remember, we are one. Hey. So now is the time to make the wars be over. Now is the time to make the killings done. Now is the time to make love take over. Now is the time to make the healing come. Now is the time for the wars to be over. Now is the time. Now is the time. Hey now. Check it out. It's been such a long, long time. We don't have no nice time. So let the music play. Let it play on. The people come along to breeze off. Them want the violence and crime decrease. Now who can blame them? Take a look around. Things are getting worse. So now is the time the wars be over. Now is the time to make the killings done. Now is the time to make love take over. Now is the time to make the healing come. Now is the time to make the wars be over. Now is the time. Now is the time. I know it's easier said than done. I know. Or wouldn't you rather give it a try? The solution isn't in this song, it lies within ourselves. So don't get tricked by blinks of politics. Don't be a puppet or a tool. Check out, we fighting, check it out. And we'll leave crying, check it out. Remember we're one. Now is the time the wars be over. Now is the time to make the killings stop. Now is the time to make love take over. Now is the time to make the healing come. Now is the time to make the wars be over. Now is the time to make the killings come. Now is the time to make love take over.
Powerful song, powerful song, powerful song, powerful song, powerful song. We are going to revisit that song because that song was one of the first songs I heard from Laury Webb that really put him on the map for me in terms of delivery, lyrical content, everything. I believe that's his own productions as well.
Yeah.
The producer is an actor. I don't think there's anything he can't do. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you, Laury Webb is a long time coming, but we finally made it happen.
Thank you.
Finally.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, the other thing that I came to realize is that in my interviews with Monty Naismith and Barry Biggs, I come to hear that you're part of that royal family.
Yes.
Yeah, my bigger cousins, you know.
Right.
Wow.
But you're part of that royal musical family. So,
yes,
you know,
sir.
so you have to give you the 10-star salute, you know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sharon, introduce yourself, my sister.
My brother. Greetings, one and all. Greetings. I am Sharon Mango, representing SBRB Radio and Roblin Productions. And today we have the amazing Laury Webb. We have to big up the 10-star general, my partner, my friend, my long time friend. I'm going to stop saying how long we know each other, you know, because it's going to show our age. But I'm a long time friend, you know. No, I said it. Long time friend. But we want to say, Laury Webb, it really has been a long time coming. Another member of the royal family has greeted our platform. And it is an honor and a pleasure to
Thank you. The honor is mine.
Now, man, it's all about, we're excited today because people want to know about the Mr. Webb. You want to know about him, where he come from, where he do, where he look so well. We have to find out all them.
Sharon, listen out for those can of worms, right?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So if you do me the favor, please, because my eye them not too good. You know, I don't need 4 eyes, I need 6. So I'm short of 2 eyes. So you're gonna do that for me.
We want to big up everybody who is in tune today. We have Sharon Bentley, my sister Sharon Bentley, our partner. We have iPhone, not sure who that is. We have Glenda Yu. We have, is my thing even scrolling down? It's not scrolling. We have a good few people in here today. Hold on. We have Rankin Nan. You know Sydney Mills is here. You know Sydney tune in.
Sydney Mills, legend.
Sydney's here now. Sydney tune in. Yes. We got Louis Flack. We got Reggae Patty.
Wow.
Oh, you know them people there? Them know you. Them coming supporting. Them know about you. Did I say Rankin and my sister, my love, my art. Welcome to everybody, and thank you guys for supporting Larry today. He's an amazing man, and we really are going to get into him today because he's actually
morning.
Blessings, sir.
Blessings. Sydney, God bless you this morning.
I tell you what, you've seen his bio, right?
Yeah. You
see what he's up to, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna dissect, his journey. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. He don't know yet how we're gonna really. We're gonna put him.
It's an unscripted show, but we like to have fun. We like to take.
Yeah, well, you know how we go, Larry. This is not a scripted show. We're just ourselves, and the more we are ourselves, is the more that you are yourself, right? Okay. So this is really what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, Sharon, it's ladies before gents, so I'm gonna let you lead this one, and then.
Oh, I get the honors. Yes, sir. Yeah. Larry Webb happy to have you.
Thank you.
And we are going to start out like we usually do. We want to start out with where you were born. We want to know about your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, and all your influences when you were younger. All those people and all these things that made you who you are.
Okay, okay.
So,
Well, I was born in St. Andrew, Jamaica. When I was like 4 years old, my mom introduced me to the violin. She had me start taking violin lessons.
oh,
But
wow.
the violin was kind of heavy for a 4-year-old, so she started, you know, giving me piano lessons. And I have 2 sisters. I don't have any brothers. When my mom migrated to this country and she sent for us, I started doing arts and music in school, and it's really the music that really kept me in school. And growing up, I used to hear a lot. Well, I'm from a close family, and growing up, there were 2 heroes in my family that I looked up to. It was Monty and Barry, and I just wanted to be part of that crew. And my dad was a big music man. He introduced, when I came to this country, they had this monthly record club, and he would have all of these records in, like by Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, Glenn Campbell, and all of that. And you know, between that and the Baron Lee and Sparrow records that my mom was a big Sparrow fan. You know, as a matter of fact, when I couldn't play reggae in the house, the only reggae I could play was, you know, if Barry was singing on it, or, you know, Marley. And think my mother said, I don't want to hear that Rasta music in here. You know?
What a fine reggae music get back then.
You know, but my mom always supported me. She bought me my first melodica. And, you know, I used to jam with the dub sides of Augustus Pablo and the dub sides of all of the reggae tune, man, you know. And I did music all throughout school. And then I started playing in bands. And then I hooked up with meditations. You know, we used to back up all kind of artists, you know, like Dabby Dobson, Ken Booth. Ken Booth, I've get to realize that, you know, stage performance-wise, I was a lot like Ken in the early days, because Ken used to dress up in some things on stage, you see, man. And I loved his vocal styling, and I came under wide influence of musicians and singers. You know, Elvis Presley for his stage presentation. You know, I love Tom Jones. I loved Tom Jones. I thought he had a very powerful voice. And, you know, I love Bob and Spear. And, you know, and of course, my cousins, you know, when my cousin Monty was in that movie with Sidney Poitier, that was a big thing in the family.
Wait, Monty was in that film there?
Yeah, Warm December. It was like a family holiday them time. You know, so those are all my influences. But my mom is a big influence in my life to this day still.
Okay, so in Jamaica now, you grew up in St. Andrew. Like, did you go to school in St. Andrew, or did you out before?
No, I went to primary school.
Okay.
And we migrated out of primary school, and I came here, and you know, it was a huge adjustment. Yeah,
it was. What year was that? What year was that?
Lord of mercy, man. 68, 69, yeah, around them times in the 60s.
Wow, okay. Yeah, wow, okay.
Yeah. So I practically grew up in the US, but, you know, kept the yard vibes and going back and forth and, you know, having the yard people them around me and thing, and, you know, Jamaican to the bone.
Without question. And when you moved here, what area did you move to?
We're in Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was weird. It was my first time being around Haitians and and Trinidadians and Bajans and things like that, other Caribbean people. And I found out that I was a people person because I got along with everybody. You know, I love the different cultures, and I didn't have any problems with anyone, you know. And I got into with some Haitian musicians and started to, learn about some of the top Haitian bands at that time, like Sherschler and Tabu Combo, and those are Haitian music icons here in New York.
Right.
So it opened up my whole perspective.
Yeah, your whole roster. So when you came here, you left primary school in Jamaica, so you entered, I don't even know.
Elementary school.
Elementary, yeah. Elementary school. Were you involved in anything musical then, or? Yeah,
I started drawing and sketching in elementary school, and then went to summer school and I learned to play the trumpet. And when I got into junior high school, I switched from trumpet to playing drums. And if it wasn't for music, I would have cut more classes. Music kept me in school because, that's who I was from a very, very young age. I just wanted to do music,
So you play. So now you play. Let me see. You play. Do you still play a little violin?
Well, I can play the scale. I can play the scale.
That's a big deal right there. Violin. I was like, oh. Then the melodica. I'm paying attention now. So we play the violin, the melodica. Then you did the trumpet. You played trumpet.
Yes.
Then the drums.
Yes.
Wow.
And I was playing piano all that time.
Okay.
And Mikey Ranglin and his brother David Ranglin introduced me to reggae keyboards. And that's when classical music went out the window.
So you play more classical stuff.
Yeah, but when I learned how to play reggae on the piano, that was magic to me. Magic. The first song I learned to play on the piano was Penny for Your Song. And couldn't get enough of that.
Wow. All right, so then that was your taste of the reggae keyboards. I know you listen to your cousin Barry Biggs, and for those who don't know, your cousin is Monty.
They call himself Monty Montgomery.
Right.
He sang Reggae Man. Reggae
Man. Right. So these were your influences. Now, as Barry Biggs was on that Lovers, smooth vibe. So that's, to me, I think you have a mixture of all of that in you. You definitely have an air of mysticism in your voice, because when I listen to your music, I'm like, wow, if you just have that whole thing, what I'm saying, that English thing. So I guess that all rubbed off on you. But anyway, we're going to get into all of that.
Thank you.
Yes. 10 Star, you don't think so? Because when you listen to like the last song you were playing, you would think it was artists from England.
Yeah. I hear a lot of, Ken Booth and Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, New York.
Thank you.
Thank you. Air of mysticism. It's
I think he embodies both,
Yeah, I think
that I hear for myself, Continue, Sharon, continue.
Oh yeah, so we're in high school now. You're in the, let me see, is the drums you pick up in high school? Because now I don't want to forget all the instruments.
I was playing drums. I took the test for music and arts. I passed the test for music and arts and performing arts high school, but performing arts didn't have a gym, and my mom didn't really want me taking the train going into Manhattan. So I was part of the Erasmus Hall mini school music department. I was playing drums and in the marching band and all of that in Erasmus.
Yeah. Marching bands. Okay, that's great. Marching band is a very good thing to get into right here in America. That kind of propels you, opens your mind.
Yeah.
So when did you know, like, yes, you love music, but when did you know you was going to pursue this? Like after school, When did you know?
Well, I had met up with the meditations, and after I graduated college, because I was going to college, because my mom always told me that I had to have a backup. So, you know, I trusted her. So I said it was either music or law. So I had done music in my early years. So when I went to college, I studied criminal justice.
Wow.
And I was working with the meditations. And as soon as I graduated, I gave my mom the degree, the piece of paper, and I went and I quit the job, and my meditations went on tour.
So
never looked back.
So hold on now, wait a minute. So you go to college. Wow, wait a minute. You go to college, yeah? And then you graduate.
Yeah.
You're doing criminal justice.
Yeah.
You're working in the field.
Yeah, I quit. I was working at a bank at the time when I was in school, and I quit the bank. I gave my mom the piece of paper, and I went on tour. And after every tour, I would come home, and at the breakfast table would be my breakfast and a law school exam study guide. By that, I would just push that aside, eat my food, get up, and head out for rehearsal. So that was like a little struggle between me and her. She wanted me to go to law school, but I love the stage, I love the road, I love meeting and interacting with different cultures, which music allowed me to travel all through the States in America, you know. I couldn't get it out, and I used to tell mommy, I'm like, you know, don't blame me, it's your fault. You know, you put the violin in my hand. You know, I never know nothing about that. It's you. You know what I mean? Look.
Good one. He passed the buck. Mom, it's your fault. You started it. He just...
Yeah.
So, okay. At that time now, you're doing all of that. How old were you, and how did you meet the meditations? Like, how did that happen?
I was playing in a band called Merging Traffic. It was one of the foundation bands in New York. And like I said, we used to back a lot of the reggae artists when they came up without bands. And on one occasion, the drummer Sparrow Thompson, who's playing with Scatterlights right now, he put on a show. This was in '79. He put on a show with the meditations where we backed them. And from then, we just kept working with them. We just kept working with meditations. And when Ansel had gone to Jamaica, and I believe he got stuck there or something, and Daniel Winston wanted to pursue the band, wanted to pursue the thing still without Ansel. And so I was playing keyboard. I was playing keyboards, and then I started singing with them at that time. And we started touring and going all over, you know, Indian reservations and thing, and
wow,
you know, and on one of the tours in '88, Jose Angel, he joined the group then, and he was the second keyboardist as I was playing and singing at the same time, and never really looked back. And from I started working with meditations, I didn't really work with any other act outside of that, because I didn't want to be known as a backing musician. So when I wasn't working with meditations, I was working on my own thing and, you know, recording myself, because Barry Biggs had produced a song for me. It All Seems the Same in Music Mountain studio in Jamaica. And so it was just meditations on me. And until I started modeling and acting, then that was something else.
Okay, so we're going to get back to all the modeling stuff. How old were you though?
Lord, let me see.
When you ventured out with the meditations, because you went to school, you did all these things, you got to college, you studied criminal justice, you did this, like, how old were you when all of this is going on?
We need some years and ages.
Yeah, we need some years, man. I'm like, because you're a young man, all these things are happening, like.
So much.
How old was I? I can't remember, you know, because the age thing, I don't really study them things, you know. Let's see. It's like 22?
Okay.
22, something like that. Yeah, 22.
20s, basically.
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you. You come to America because I want to drag you back a bit because you've galloped forward, so I'm going to drag you back. Me as I wear my with that grey beard.
Yes.
I see you with all that black hair and all that sporting your blackness, you know, and me and my grey beard. But it's all right. But anyway, I want to drag you back to a time when you've left Jamaica. How old were you when you left Jamaica?
I was still a kid. I was like 11, 12.
11. Okay, so you were old enough to remember that period.
Yeah.
So you get to America. What was your frame of mind?
Well, to be, you know, the one thing I remember about coming to America was the smell. You know, it had this kind of smell. And the first day in school, I got into a fight because my mom believed in the English system, so she sent me to school in a clip-on tie and a jacket and shoes. And when I go into the school, nobody else, no other boy picnic never have on a clip-on tie and jacket.
But listen, he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. You are right. How many fights was coming for me because we believe in the English system, and I went to school here in America, and they want to fight you because you have on shoes. Them not dressed up.
No.
Oh my
God.
I was stunned. I stand up looking around, the boy coming for fight me, and I looking around for the teacher. And I'm like, are you seeing this? You seeing this? And nothing was going. I had to learn how to cuss bad word. I remember the first time I cussed bad word, I used to get goosebumps. No, seriously, I used to get goosebumps on my hand, and I was determined to become a natural at it because it was either predator or prey. You know, and my family didn't play certain things because a boy did thief my bus pass, and my father show up at the school in slippers. You know, and when they bring the boy into the office, my father rushed the little boy and no, Mr. Webb. So
yes,
it was a trip coming to this country. It was a trip. It was I adjusted though. The one thing I must say that looking in retrospect, looking back, I didn't like the fact that I learned prejudice here.
Yeah.
You know, I learned how to hate on people, you know, without any cause. I was a little kid and them don't like these set of people. So of course I just want 15, them don't do me none. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, and it took me a while it took me a couple of years to get out of that mindset, you know what? It wasn't a nice thing, you know. That was my one of my unpleasant things in America here. Besides the gang thing.
Yeah.
And that must have been during the 70s, right?
Yeah.
So you grew up through the thick of it, you know, where you know, we are talking about Watts riots and all that kind of stuff.
Black Panther
and all that, you know, so you're experiencing the height of racism.
Yeah.
You know, when we initially spoke about, you know, the fighting business, you gave me a flashback of when I was speaking with Barry a couple of weeks ago.
Oh God!
And he used to beat up people.
What?
He did say that. He really did say that. He said that.
We have to defend ourselves. We have to beat them up.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I was in Jamaica when I went to visit him in Jamaica, and we were on the beach. And you know, the people them around there, they call him Mr. Barry. Mr. Barry, everything is Mr. Barry. And we are down by the cars, we're on the beach, I fry up some fish and thing, and one brother come up, you know, him feels like him big enough, him come and him say, yeah, we are say Barry Biggs. And Barry talking to me now, Barry don't say no, him just talking, and him just start walk down to the water. And the man pick up a piece of wood, about this stick, with one hand, him just go down and just pick it up and turn around with one hand. And the boy looked at him and said, "No, Jesus Christ, no, Mr. Barry, no, Mr. Barry." And Barry just drop it and just continue the conversation.
Boy, bless up Barry Biggs every time.
Yes, man. My big cousin, I love him to death.
Yeah, man. We come back to you now. So you're finding yourself, because, you know, even myself, I'm a, you know, mid-60s baby, right?
Mm.
And I grew up in an era where there was, you know, extreme racism here in the UK. And we found that in order to survive, we had to walk in a gang. And a gang didn't mean you were up to no good. It would just meant that if you touched one of us, you touched
everybody. Yeah.
Did you go through similar?
Well, when I was in junior high school, they had a band, they had a gang called the Jolly Stompers, which I couldn't understand it. For me, in my mind, I'm thinking that these lunatics stomping on you and laughing because I'm happy.
The Jolly Stompers.
Jolly Stompers, yeah. You know, and I used to walk with my little one and two people then that was in the music program. And every now and then, you know, I think I got robbed. Did I get robbed? No, I didn't get robbed. But how they used to come, they used to just come up and tap your pocket and say, "All I find I keep." I says, "No, no, 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 no." But around that time, in the high school, the Jamaicans started wilding out. So they got a bad reputation because somebody in the high school, they come in with a machine gun. So them start look out for the Jamaican them. So when I walk with my friend them and the gang members them come around, my Jamaican patrol come out hardcore, and I'm like, "Nah, we ain't messing with them, man. It's them crazy Jamaicans." So I was like, yes. So that saved me. But I was more with the musicians them, and musicians, nobody really mess with the musician them, you know.
So what did you learn from that period, stepping out of that era in time, and maybe, you know, meeting up with the and I'm assuming the Meditations was the first group you ever worked with?
No, it was the first trio, because I was working. We back like Ken Booth, Dabby Dobson, Bosie from Blues Busters, and them ilk.
Okay. So that's a period we need to speak about. So take me there.
Yeah.
And how did that happen?
Well, back in them times, you know, the bands ruled the day. The bands were the celebrities, and a lot of artists couldn't get visas. So when these artists came up, we would back them. You know, Sparrow, you know, knew a lot of them because he was part of the music community in Jamaica. So when they came up and, you know, they would hunt down Sparrow and we would get those bookings. In looking back, I got to meet some really cool elder reggae stars. It was in '79 when I just started working with Meditations, and I decided I didn't want to be backing up a whole bunch of different artists anymore, because the personalities, I couldn't take the personality.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, and I don't have the patience to deal with foolishness. And you know, so I said, okay, I don't want to be known as a backing artist, a backing band. So when the band started working with Meditations exclusively, you know, at that time when Ansel had gone to Jamaica temporarily, it was the Meditations became like the band with the vocalist, and it was because Danny was playing guitar as well, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now you're fully fledged with you've established yourself till this time as the Meditation, which is a trio group. Right?
Yeah.
And I've always expressed, you know, throughout my shows with various artists, you know, there's always a danger of being pigeonholed as a backing singer. So during your time with the Meditations, was that something which was consciously on your mind? And what did you do to get yourself out of it? or what was your frame of mind in order to move forward as being part of the meditations, but also branching out to do your own projects?
Well, in the early days when we first met, it was the meditations and the band. When Ansel went to Jamaica and the band and thing incorporated, I felt a part of the thing and we were just going. I had left the meditations when I left them in 88. I came to Germany in 89 with Ika Mouse. I was playing keyboards for Ika Mouse. And now that I am back with Ansel, I have myself in the mindset, you have to support. I'm a supporter. I'm supporting in this thing, and I am me. So I am me. I have my personality is intact, and I bring my personality into the meditations now, because how I act on stage is how I've always acted on stage. I've always been a wild man on stage. I've always been eclectic in the way that I dress, in the way that I move. You know, I'm cool. I am Laury Webb. And then, you know, when I'm working with the meditations, I'm Laury Webb with the meditations. You know, the meditations is Ansel's baby. I see myself primarily supporting him in that movement. You know what I mean? Because we have to keep that thing going. You know, for however long I'm able to be there. You know, but my solo career is my solo career, and I don't trip about it. You know, it's, if I'm someplace, if I agree to be someplace and support you, I'm there 100%. I give 100% as if it's mine, because I'm still representing me. Right. You know, because nobody's not going to be able to different. If you're flopping on stage, you're flopping on stage. You're letting know everybody and thing. And so as long as I'm there, I'm giving 100%. So I give 100%. So I don't trip. I don't have any mind thing. I'm me. I'm always me. You know, I don't try to be anybody else or any other way. I'm not exposed. I'm exposing music. I'm exposing, you know, good performances. And if I have a message, you know, I'll put it in the music and think. I'm not a preacher. I'm an entertainer. You know, I try my best to not trip. And you know, God bless my family, you know, because they keep me from getting swell-headed, you know, and thing. So I have to. I'm very grounded due to the people that I have in my circle. You know, the very small of people that I have in my circle.
With you, I want to come back to family life now, because you did touch upon an important aspect of your life, where you said that you did criminal law, right? And you graduated, so you got your degree.
Yes, sir.
What was the mind thought of your mother to you in terms of you saying you wanted to give that up and pursue music? You know, because I know my father told me at the time during the 60s, 70s, right? There's no money in music. There's no money in sports. You have to be a doctor, lawyer, or whatever. That's what my father taught me at the time.
Well, my mom, you know, and I'd say my mom because you know, at some point my mom and my dad had separated, but my dad was always a big part of my life, same way. You know, but my mom, she just wanted me to be happy. She wanted me to have something to fall back on. She says, in case the music wasn't happening, or in case you need to finance your project, you know, you have to have something to fall back on. You have to have a backup plan. So she instilled that in me, and to this day, everything I do, I try to create a backup plan just in case, you know. So she didn't really understand, you know. She used to come on the few occasions when she would come to the shows, she would be very, very worried for me. She says, Lord, I think you're not going to drop off of this stage. Just not. When they can't carry on up on stage, you can't stand up one place and sit. You're going to get a heart attack. You're going to get sick. But she enjoyed it.
That's a great mommy impersonation.
For real.
And I guess that is every parent's fear, is that you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
Also, you're now entering an industry that hasn't really been too kind to many of our legends, I'm pretty sure you're aware that people like Dennis Brown, maybe even Gregory Isaacs, um, there's many other greats who I've been opportune to interview, that, they've never really got their dues as artists in the industry. Now, my question to you, were you aware of that dynamic? And if you were aware of that dynamic, what did you do to secure yourself? And if you weren't aware of that dynamic, what did you do to ensure that, you didn't fall into the danger zone?
Well, in the early days, I was living at home and, I just was having a ball. It was all excitement to me. I'm traveling on my own because, growing up under my mom who tried to maintain the English thing and controlling and thing. And I was on my own. I was having fun. And after my kids were born and I saw that it was the money was coming in scanty. It wasn't about fun and games anymore. I had to make a decision, and I came off the road. And I secured employment with the city so that I could have medical coverage for my kids and have a steady money coming in, so I could take care of my kids. Because that was more important to me. And then when everybody, get to take care of themselves, I slowly segued in, I tried to manage the 9-to-5 job with the music and segue because it's rough. Because when I started singing, a lot of people, some people would say that, I'm not sing black enough, to sing reggae, and,
Tell you
sing
that.
too opera-ish. Yeah, man, I sing too opera-ish, but I had opera singers who were neighbors and they loved my voice and I loved their voice. So I took it as a compliment. So I just say, okay, I'm the opera dread. I'm not, you can't disrespect me. I mean, I don't sing black enough to sing reggae music. How is a black man supposed to sing? I enunciate and I sing the way that I sing and I speak the way that I speak. As a black man, I'm not trying to force anything. I am who I am. I don't want to sound like anybody else. I don't want to look like anybody else. I don't want to be like anybody else. And that's what that's the example I try to set for my kids and my nieces and nephews, just be who you are and be comfortable with that. Because when people not comfortable with themselves, then that's when they get into a lot of outside trouble, and
Yeah.
and I wasn't going to I allowed them to get into my head for a couple of years. And then I had to expel them because they wasn't paying rent. So nobody can live in my head rent free. So I just
like
let
that
them
one.
go.
That's a good one.
So you had to evict them.
Yes, and continue being comfortable, being myself, and doing it. Ansel used to have a joke, right? Ansel tell me one time, said that we were on tour and, he looked at my outfit that I was wearing for the stage and he looked at me and he said, boy, it coming like say you sit down in front of Prince house a man in time and wait for garbage day for go through Prince garbage. It was funny, so I laughed. I didn't take offense. It was funny. So if you're going to come at me, make me laugh, make it funny.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Well, I must say, as you're well aware, we had Ansel on this show a couple, maybe a month or two ago.
yeah.
And he had nothing but good things to say about you guys. And, it's a blessing to know that there are groups that really get on and understand the dynamic of what needs to happen, for our industry. There's a lot to unpack and a lot to speak about, during this show before we end it today. Before I am accused of hugging the mic, Let me hand over to my beautiful co-host down there in New Jersey.
Listen, you see me now. I wasn't gonna say. I was like, you see. So
I understand
okay.
the eye, you know. I understand the eye.
So Larry, I gotta take you back for a second. You do have a certain style, right? But working with people like Eka Mouse. Now, Eka Mouse is an extremely different individual on stage. He is, to me, very theatrical. Is it people like you nodded hard like, okay, first of all, let me say this. What was it like working with him? Because I have to know that. And did you like take from his performances, you know what I mean? Like how he acts, is that contributory, a portion contributory to your style?
Mouse was he's a tremendous, incredible performer. He's an incredible performer. When he's on, he's on.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that he created this persona for himself and he went with it, and it was always about the audience as far as he was concerned. I learned that from him, that it's always about the audience.
Mm-hmm.
His style was his style. My style, from the first time I jump on a stage, you know, my style has been set. You know, like I said, you know, I liked the eclectic. I love rock music I like the rock music performers when they get into the music and they allow the music to get into them. So I try to allow the music to dictate how I am on stage. I don't go on stage and say, well, okay, tonight I'm going to be this way or I'm going to be that way. You know, I only do that with wardrobe. When I go, you know, I try to be an empty vessel. So as the vibes from the music and from the people dictates how I am. And I think Mouse was the same way. It was the music and thing that drove him. You know, he wasn't phony on stage. He was Mouse. He is Mouse. He's one of a kind, and love him or hate him, he is who he is, and he's comfortable being who he is. And that also taught me that, you know, I had to be comfortable within myself, you know, and it was okay to be considered the odd man out, because, you know, everybody not going to like you. And as a performer, as an artist, if you go there and try to be liked by everybody, then you find yourself pandering, and you're a panderer. And you know, I just try to go out there and be honest with the music, honest with the performance, and hope that people get it. You know, at the end of the day, some people will get it, some people won't, and you know, that's outside my control. And it takes a lot for me to, you know, to separate that. But you know, I can't take on too many things, you know.
Right. So during this time, you've done so many things. I'm very curious as to how modeling came into the stratosphere, because you're doing your music. Was it to support yourself financially, or did somebody just saw you? Like, how did that happen?
Well, someone did see me, and I started doing it because it was frightening. It was frightening to me, you know. And yeah, you know, to just be out, you're just out there. You can't talk, you can't sing. It's just you're wearing some garments. So what I used it to do, I used it as training to be able to command a stage, you know, without saying a word, you know, because you're going out there and it's about the clothes. It's not about you, because as far as the designer is concerned, you're a walking hanger, you know. And the designer that I work with, I was blessed to work with some beautiful Caribbean designers. One of them, Georges Jarvis, he still designs for me to this day. And it was about going out there and just showing the garment and being a presence without saying a word, and being able to control the stage without saying a word. And it was frightening for me. And if it was frightening, that means that I had to do it, you know, because it was a challenge. So I had to do it.
Okay, so somebody just picked you and asked you to do it.
Someone asked me to do it, and then I started getting calls. People would say, "Well, this magazine looking for this," and and I would just show up. I remember when I got my cover for a magazine called Black Elegance.
Okay.
I remember that was the first time I ever really walked in anywhere and felt cocky. I walked into the office, and they wanted someone with locks, and I saw all of these brothers with locks in there and thing, and I walk in, and I remember looking at them and just thinking to myself, well, I better not go home, yeah, because me come for my job. And I handed in my paperwork, I handed in my book, and when the receptionist looked at her, and she says, excuse me, I'll be right back. And she went to the back. I turned around, I look at the man, and again mentally I warned them. I said, better not get up and go home, yeah, because I'm at work. And then I saw a lady come out, and she says, oh, and she said, may I speak with you in the back? And when I was leaving, going to the back, I turned around again, I'm looking there. But they tell me enough to go home because I'm at work. And I got the job, and that was my first cover, and it was a blast. What on the train? Imagine being on the train and the train going by, and you see the newsstand, and you see a magazine in the front, and you on the cover. I was like, wow.
And what year was that?
That was that 90 something. I'd have to check the magazine to really see. I didn't really. The years just flew by when you're having fun, because I'm still in the midst of it. So that's for somebody else to come and, dot the I's and cross the T's with that. I'm not really sure about the years. I know it was the 90s, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Larry Webb, model singer, but you're bad. So during that time, you're still doing your music though, that you're still touring, you're still doing all of that, yeah?
Yeah, I was doing all of that, and with the model, and right behind the modeling, a friend of mine was doing Russ Tesfa, who I'd met in college. He wrote a play, a musical called Rasta, and he asked me if I would come and audition to be a musician. So I went down to the audition, and I saw the people in there. I'm like, wait, look a bit. Musician, I don't want to be no musician. So I want the lead part. So I said, okay. So I spoke to the director. The director had me read, and I ended up with the lead part. And that taught me the power of positive thinking, because I started to claim things before they actually come into me. Anything that I want, I claim it in my mind and say, yeah, I might think that I'm not coming for it. Give me something.
What a thing, eh?
Funny, oh my God. Larry got enough things to talk about, We will keep all day show, man. Why? So it's just funny how we don't even realize that every situation or small opportunity is a stepping stone to something else, because it looks like it groomed you. Each situation groomed you and propelled you for the next thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gain your confidence. It looks like Barry Biggs coming in to talk about you to hold on a minute.
Yeah, me just call him.
Barry are coming soon. Everybody up. See? Now, you have created this whole being, because I have to go back to when we first started this conversation. How I see you. You have this era of mysticism, because I listen to your music. Your music has a rock, reggae, hip hop fusion. And it looks like all these differences, these experiences, and of course, being here in America, right? You're exposed to so much, and you still bring it home to the foundation.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You still make it, because in each song that you're doing, it's different, but each song starts off different. So you're like, wait, all shit is reggae. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, yes, you know what I mean? And it just speaks volumes as to you being eclectic, as you said. You're just rounded in all aspects. And again, you're a young man coming up into this world. You've got all these experiences. What, I don't even know where to start with you. There's so much I'm going to say to you, but when did you know you made it? Let me just put it that way. When did you know Laury Webb was Laury Webb? Like, you did the modeling, you're on the cover of magazines. When did you really, really, really know? And I know it was the early years. When did you know that this is going to take you to the next level?
You mean, when did he know he was a super duper?
When did you, like, when? It had to. You have to
say super duper.
When did you know you was Mr. Super Duper? Because you done crossed some lines, stepped in certain shoes, and just be like, I'm mighting this. You knew enough for that to say that. So when did you do that?
I've never really thought like that. I've never thought about that. I've never felt, that confident to say that I've arrived. I haven't arrived. I'm doing my thing. I don't think like that. I'm really a shy person, and I don't know that I've made it. I get a kick out of people telling me that that my songs hit them in certain way, and I'm grateful for that, and because my thing is, if one person tells me, that they see value in what I'm doing, that makes me feel so good, and I take that and I move with it, but I would never ever say that I've arrived or I'm a super anything. I'm just Larry. I'm just doing my best, and that's for other people to, to bring the accolades. I don't really throw accolades on myself. I'm not that, what's the word? You're
humble.
Yes. Something like that. I'm not, like I said, because of my family, my family keeps me grounded. If they feel that I'm getting a swell head or anything, they know how to chop me down and things. So, and they still have so many people out there, fighting against you and thing. The little circle of artists that I affiliate myself with, people like Jose, and some of the meditations personnel, and out in Brooklyn and Cross, and my cousins and things, we don't, to get when they tell me that, hey, that's good work, it means a lot to me, because I'm so accustomed to people fighting against the thing. Sorry. I'm so accustomed to people, coming at me negatively and thing, that I'm very, very careful. I try not to, portray myself as more than I am. Them way. I just try to be honest and true to what I'm doing and try to have a good time. And I'm too busy trying to have a good time to, really focus on all them other things. I don't feel that I've arrived yet, because there's still work to be done. And, there's still a lot of people out there who don't know me. And, and I still haven't performed in England. I still haven't performed in Europe yet as Laury Webb. So I guess when that happens, then I will adopt a different attitude.
I throw my true stone,
I throw my true stone, but you over there, me's here. Me's representing both, so we have to make that happen. Me don't know how, but it will happen. Well, you know what? But listen, I'm gonna say this in regards to that last statement. If you don't make it, and in New York is where you got to make it first. Anywhere else will come after. They always say that. If you Frank Sinatra, that's a Frank Sinatra song, famous one.
Yeah.
Make it here first. And your name, you're very well known here, but I want to touch on something you said, people fighting you down. Like, do you feel, yes, the industry is very competitive, we understand that, but do you feel like in your genre of music, do you have a lot of support by the Caribbean community? Do you feel like you yeah, let's leave it at that. In the Caribbean community, do you feel like you have a lot of support from our people in regards to this music?
Well, it's a divided thing, you know. You have some people who they can get with it, and then you'll have others who feel that it's not enough of that thing, you know. And there's this misconception out there about roots music and people talking about roots music, and you know, and I'm lost because what is roots music? Does roots music have to be about one subject matter in order to be considered roots? And who's really assigning these names to the music?
Right.
The Caribbean people are an eclectic bunch, you know. It's not, you know, so I will get love from some, and I will get puzzled looks from others, and it's all good, you know. It's all good. I'm just doing me. I'm not trying to be liked by everybody, you know. I'm not even trying to be liked. I'm just trying to do honest music, honest works of art, you know, and pray that it finds an audience, that the music and the material finds an audience that finds value in it. You know, that's the best that I can do, you know, because I can't pander. I don't know how to do that. I don't have that type of personality. I just do what I do. And if you like it, thank you very much. And if you don't like it, that's okay. Don't get in my way though, you know. And you have some people now with the internet and thing, you know, you have some people, they're quick to say nasty things about people, and you know, who isn't doing real reggae and who isn't doing roots rock. I even heard some people fight against lovers rock, and I'm like, yo, how can I take you guys seriously? You know, you fight against lovers rock, you know, and things. So I consider myself the king of lovers angst. You know, make somebody else go on with the lovers rock. My thing is, even my love songs is always something angst involved. I'm just trying to find a little niche for myself, you know, and do what I do, and at the same time set an example for my niece and my nephews and my son and my daughters and all the other artists them out there who have been told that they're not enough of this to be successful. You know, you can be yourself and do what you need to do and be happy doing what you're doing, and just present yourself honestly, present your work honestly, and people will feel you. Because in the long run, people feel music, people feel energy, people feel vibes. Because you have a lot of singers out there with excellent singing voices, but nobody not feeling them. You know, so you just got to be honest with what you're doing, and just know that you know, there's many different lanes in this thing, and you just find your lane and just stick in your lane and do your thing, and don't worry about what's going on over here, what's going on over there. Just deal with your thing. And that's what I try to do, you know, and be happy at the same time.
Yeah, I see that in your music. And I will say that, you know, because I know I've known about you a long time now, and I know your music, love your style. What I see in your music, though, is you remind me of like a Bob Marley. And I'm going to say why.
Why?
If everybody, yes, it's a good, why, Sharon? Tell them why I'm telling them. If you really listen to Bob Marley's music, right, like really listen, he does have that rock fusion in there. He has so many different elements in there that people were fighting against him same way. What is that?
Yeah.
Right? What is this? What is that? And because of the lyrical content, and it was good lyrical content, but they weren't ready for it. First of all, that's number one.
The lights down low.
Yeah, come on.
They weren't ready for that.
They weren't ready for none of that.
That's gonna sing the love song. Where Bob Marley deal with about sing love song.
Right. So I put you in that category
sorry.
with your style. I put you in that. Shut your mouth, man. So we put you in that style. If you understand what I'm saying, because you strived to be yourself, and people, and that's why I did ask the question, like if people in the community love you, because they're now dictating to you, well, that don't sound, that is more like, and this is more like.
Yeah.
But your mindset is like, yeah, I don't really care, you know. I don't give a toss about that.
Yeah.
Me like it, it sounds good, and somebody's gonna like it. And I think that that is what helps you. You know what I mean? You don't change. Bob Marley did not change. He did not change. He just kept going and going. As a Rasta, he was not supported, right? That was number one. And then it was his music. Now look at it. It's what's important to me and to many hours is longevity in the game with your music. Your music is going to keep going on. Your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, they'll have something to reflect on. So I applaud you in being who you are. It is a continual journey, of course, without question, but you're doing it.
Thank
you.
you.
Know what I mean? So I just needed to say that.
You know the amazing thing, right? If you were not born in that era of time, you wouldn't have been able to say what you just said.
Right. Yes, it's true.
Thank you. My mom likes it.
Of course, listen, that's the most important thing. Your mom likes it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my mom is happy, I'm happy. And she's proud now, you know. She sings my songs, you know. I wrote a screenplay, and I asked, and she started speaking to me in using some of the dialogue, you know, because I had to explain to her what a spliff was, and you know, and what the difference between a spliff and a joint, and you know, she had to explain to her what whole of fresh mean, and so she would talk to me and tell me, you know, it's all right, I go and go whole of fresh. Like, all right, mom, go and go whole of fresh.
I'm telling you. Let me interject, because I have to interject, you know, and one of the things I want to do is I want to come to my brethren, Barry Biggs. Unmute yourself, sir. Come in and say, I listen. Barry, unmute. Barry Biggs, unmute. Are you unmuted? Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes!
Good. Barry, talk to me about your cousin. Talk to me.
Oh, Larry. I'm Larry.
Well, me.
Yeah, man, everything good, man. You listen to the interview.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Barry said you were one of his inspirations, Barry. He said you were an inspiration in his life. Share with us what you come to understand about Laury Webb, the artist.
Well, I know Larry for quite a long time, with family, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he always, you know, I think we did some production in Jamaica one time with a friend of his that they introduced me to. And I produced a tune with Larry for them as well.
Okay.
You remember Larry?
Yeah. Seems the same.
Yeah.
You were rough with me, B. You handled me rough, man. You handled me rough, but it was good. He got good ears, Barry have good ears.
Right.
I want the best out of you understand?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm still proud of you, man. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
know.
Thank you, Barry, for being here. You know, I have to let you know that Laury Webb is on the show. You have to come in.
Yeah, man. I'm here listening, man.
Yeah. And you're a great influence on him. You've been a great influence on many people in our music industry. This show is about honoring our greats, you know, and those who are following suit of greatness. And Laury Webb, your cousin, the person who is our guest on our show, we recognize his greatness, you know what I mean? Which is why
I appreciate that. Yeah, man, that's good.
All right, so I'm going to let you listen in the distance.
How you doing, my love? Very big.
Good.
Thank you, Barry, for being here. Continue to listen in the distance, yeah?
Yeah, man, I'm listening, yeah.
All right. Larry.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, I want to take you to a place where you're now part of the meditations. You're now doing your stuff. You've been through the nitty-gritty. You've gone through the racism and discrimination. You've had to stand up for yourself. You're doing your own thing because you don't want to be pigeonholed. You're now doing your I think you formed a band called TigerBone, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me about TigerBone and how you started your own solo career.
Yeah.
Well, the name TigerBone was we were on tour. Meditations was on tour, and we reached San Francisco, and somebody in the van said, "Man, we have to go to Chinatown and get a bottle of TigerBone." And
you have to tell people what TigerBone is, you know.
It's a medicinal Chinese medicinal tonic drink, right? Yeah. And on the label it says women not supposed to drink it. Right. So the man them go buy them big bottle of TigerBone. One man drink it so much he started turning the color of the liquid. And next man bring a woman in the vehicle and she drink it and she gets sick. So I'm like, wow, this TigerBone thing really powerful. So a friend of ours who used to drive the meditations died under mysterious circumstances in New York. He dropped us off like at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and he went home to shower, and he was supposed to come back to pick us up to go to another show upstate. And we don't see the man now, and we get to find out that he was in the emergency room getting brain surgery.
Oh,
the police said that they found him outside his vehicle with the engine running and with all the equipment in the back, and he was foaming at the mouth. But we know, says the police kill him because they saw him dropping us off in the van, and at the time that the robot taxi was illegal. So they probably thought he was running robot, you know. And so when I came off tour, I said, you know, I'm going to do a tribute to our friend Wayne, and I call it Robot Taxi, and I call the band the TigerBone Band, and that was how the TigerBone Band started.
Wow.
Okay. Now tell me about because I mean, a couple of weeks ago I had Marcia Davis on. She's somebody I've always respected as a female artist out of New York. You know, as a young British lady, came from UK, ended up in New York, and has been doing her thing there. And she continues to shine in my life.
Yeah, good person, man.
I
good
know you have worked with her, and you came on our show and you shared a few words and so forth. There was a rhythm track that she was on called the 1650 Rhythm.
Right.
I take it that is your first solo project.
That was my first producer project, and what I did with that, I created a rhythm. Louis Fleck, who was on, I don't know if he's still on, but he engineered it.
Yeah.
And I believed in my friends, and they were all getting a beating. You know, the women were being asked for sex, you know, in lieu of money to work in certain studios. And some of the brethren, they weren't getting any love to get work done. So I invited them all to my house and I recorded them for free. And I put it on, and I told them, I'm like, okay, take this and go get some live work with it. Now you can say you have something out and nobody can tell you no. You know, you have something out, work with it. And Marcia took it and ran with it. Simone G, she took hers and ran with it. You know, I had a lot of good, Ansel did a track on there. Danny did a track on there from Meditations as well. You know, so the support goes both ways, you know, because I believe in my little, I call us the inglorious bastards, you know, because nobody know what I'm playing with, you know, and
yes.
I believe in my crew. You know, they're extremely talented, and the thing that I enjoyed the most was like working with people who weren't in competition with each other. A lot of times you find like male singers are in competition with other male singers, female singers are in competition with other female singers. But in my little reggae family here, nobody not in competition with everyone. Everyone celebrates each one's individuality, and they support each other and lift up each other, you know, and I love that. And that's what makes me want to, you know, I have a bunch more tracks with them that I haven't gotten a chance to deal with yet. You don't hear nothing yet.
What?
You don't hear nothing yet.
Yeah, wait.
Wait, said to me.
Yeah, this year I'm gonna start working on some putting out some more of them, you know, because I don't know if you remember Whirl a Girl. I got a track with Charmaine was on that 1650 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have a lovely gospel reggae track with her. And it, you know, I did the music and stuff, and she came and she did her wonderful.
We're going to try and play some of them songs. Well, I tell you what, you know, you said something which is crucial to you as an individual, as a person, away from music in itself, which speaks volumes about you. You know, you heard that, you know, certain females were offered maybe sex for work, you know, and you took them in and said, listen, come to my studio and I will record you for free and give you your work so that you can go out there and shine. You know, that's notable as a human being. So first and foremost, before we do anything else, let me just give you the applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because we understand that's a crucial dynamic in our industry today, where a lot of females are feeling the pinch. You know, Marcia Davis came on, she shared her story in her own words, you know, and it's sad that females have to go through that in order to move forward with their careers, you know, so we honor you for what you've done. You know what I mean? That's what this show is about, you know. You did that for a lot of the females and so forth. You did a 1650 rhythm. It's a powerful rhythm, which I know has some meaning behind it, because I was just reading the little one lines on the albums and so forth. What did that 1650 mean to you as an individual, and why did you create that rhythm?
Well, it really broke my heart at the time, you know, because I was spending a lot of time in Trinidad, and I noticed that the Trinidad, the social scene in Trinidad was mirroring what was going on in Jamaica, and it broke my heart with all of the killings and, you know, all the murders and, you know, the disregard for human life. And I wanted to put a project together that would, it wasn't just the music. I'm still have this vision, you know, the 1650 project, because I wanted to start a victims fund. You know, that was the whole idea. I'm like, okay, so let's do the 1650, and, you know, everybody come in and just speak to the violence that's going on that you see going on in Jamaica right now. I didn't tell anybody what, I just says, we're speaking to the violence in Jamaica, and they all interpreted it in their own way. And it was all about empowering the people and letting them know that, yeah, we're here, we recognize what's going on, and maybe if one or two songs could change mind, you know, wishful thinking, excuse me, you know. But that's where I was coming from. I just wanted to do, I felt helpless, you know, I didn't know what the hell to do. And as a musician, that was what you know, that's the direction that I took.
Right. So you did a 1650 rhythm which touched upon what was going on in our community, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah. And I felt that, per se, the vibration was crucial. You said Louis Fleck was part of the engineering part, right?
Yes. And he's a good musician. He's a bad musician in his, you know, as well. He does his own thing as well. He's part of our crew.
Well, I have to say that, for me, hearing you, maybe for the first time, put you on a map for everything you did. I judged everything you did based upon that very first tune you did, which is this, which is why I played so much. And the person who made me aware of it at the time was Daddy Lion Chandel, who's also a fellow meditation singer.
Really?
He's also a good friend of mine, yeah. And I remember at the time it was on E2 on air in New York, Michelle Atherton.
Yes,
yeah?
yes. Big up,
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yeah. And they were playing that song, and that's how I got to hear about this was your production. So I do want to play, maybe not all of it, but just half of it, because it is a powerful song coming from the great, we can't say Laury Webb without saying great.
Great. In bad man, in bad.
Say it again, Sharon.
Bad man.
Thank you.
Great again, say great again. Great.
Great man, you're great man. He's a boss man.
Thank you.
Boss man.
Yeah, man. Choo-choo. Choo-choo. From Kingston to Lavante. Pure blackness. Rude boy. Make us stop, man. Pure madness. Oi, oi. Hey now, way now. Rock. God is job. Morning and evening. Listen, it's time to put all the differences aside and take a check. We lost a lot of lives. Now youth not really still alive. Them dead before the 25. Can see you hiding in the lane. Why you causing so much pain? Who you gonna blame? Barely learned to read, but she knows to fire gun. And now the baby father won't be going home. Who says it's got to be this way? Oh, listen, rude boys, begging you to ease off, because we're out of many. But remember, we are one. Hey. So now is the time to make the wars be over. Now is the time to make the killings done. Now is the time to make love take over. Now is the time to make the healing come. Now is the now.
Let me ask you a question. You
Yes, sir.
You said Louis Fleck was the person who engineered the song, right?
Yeah.
Who engineered the song?
I gave him the tracks and told him mix it however he want mix it.
So the fatness where we are here, the fatness is because of Louis Fleck.
Mr. Fleck, yes, man.
Mr. Fleck, on mute, please. On mute. Mr. Fleck, on mute. Can we have to play the tune again, you know? But I want to hear from Mr. Louis Fleck. Mr. Louis Fleck.
This is Louis. Thank you for saying hello.
Louis Fleck, the legendary Louis Fleck. How you
First
doing,
of all, Larry was very, very clear about the levels. He mixed it. He's very he's giving away credit where credit belongs to him.
Right.
He's humble.
So tell us when he came to you with this project. What went through your mind and how did you deliver it?
Well, first of all, we've been working together in a whole variety of ways. So when he came to me, there was no choice. I had to do it because he's done so many things for me, and it's a pleasure to work with him and play with him, and all the different situations that we've shared have been incredibly rewarding. And, he's the real thing. Absolutely. And he came to me. At that time, I was living in Albemarle Terrace in Brooklyn, and we just set up a session, and he brought all the tracks. it went, I remember it being incredibly smooth. I don't remember there being any issues. He had everything. We organized it. We laid it down. I don't know how many times we, adjusted it, but I think it all happened in one day. And then he went away and I did a dub mix. And it was low stress. It was good.
Oh, wow. Louis Flick, we salute you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Fleck.
And thank you for sharing your words, and
Yes.
your input. And thank you for the support. Thank you so much.
Back to the main star.
Listen, back to the main star. He said it, not me.
The main star.
Listen, Larry,
Yes,
we have
sir.
to play the tune here one more time. Just one more time. I swear. Now, I know you wrote the song, right? And you performed it, right? But I still don't know if you understand how powerful this song is. That's why I'm one of people, if you understand. Let me just play the tune here one more time.
Yeah, man. Choo-choo. Choo-choo. From Kingston to Lavante. Pure blackness. Rude boy. Make us stop the madness. Pull out the madness. Boy. Hey now. Rock. God is sharp. Morning and evening. Listen, it's time to put all the differences aside and take a check. We lost a lot of lives. Now you're not really still alive. Them dead before the 25. Can see you hiding in the lane. Why you causing so much pain? Who you gonna blame? Barely learned to read, but she know for fire gun. And now the baby father won't be going home. Who says it's got to be this way? Oh, listen, rude boys, begging you for ease off, because we're out of many. But remember, we are one. Hey. So now is the time to make the wars be over. Now is the time to make the killings done. Now is the time to make love take over. Now is the time to make the healing come.
Thank you.
Wicked. It's
Thank you.
wicked.
Thank you.
Wicked.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's wicked.
You feel it, right?
Yeah, it's the rhythm number one, but the lyrical content is what makes it what it is, because you can't help but join in, right? So Larry, you did your thing on that. You know that, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Did that.
You have to take him there,
You see, with that song, everybody did their songs before me, and I engineered the taking of the song. So when it came to me writing, I knew I had to come with something, and I wanted to talk directly to the youth, to the people them, so I tried to construct it in a way that they would get it, I mean, I understand I understand the misery that a lot of people were living in, but you can't, that's no way, that's only making things worse. So I really paid attention to the lyrics, and I didn't want to get too preachy, but I just had to say something, because I was also angry and annoyed at, the level of violence that was going on. And, it was just still annoyed because it's still going on.
Right. I think the album, though, itself, all who contributed, Marcy is one young man, another powerful one. Another person I've known for many, many, many years, the original Smurf. I've known him for a long time.
He's a very talented individual.
Yeah, he's very talented. Yeah, his vocals were always on point, and that's how I've always known him for my early days here in New Jersey and playing with different bands, he was always there. But the song what he did, Much Too Much, amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody did their part, which, you know, makes the album stand out. 1650 is, you know, comprised of so many different lyrical explanations, but all coming to the same thing, and everybody did their thing. It's such a, I love the rhythm. It's a wicked rhythm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kudos for you for that, because I love it.
Thank you.
Of course I have it, you know, I play it, you know what I'm saying? I have all of them, you know, who is on there? I have all of it, but yeah, great album. And
Thank
the
you.
concept at the time was, again, you raising awareness as to what was happening in Jamaica. That was what, for 2005? Was it
2005, yeah.
1,650 people died. Yeah.
It ended up being more than that by the time the tracks were recorded.
Oh, I know. And I know that that's the sin of it.
Yeah, I'm ambitious.
But
Let me just chime into Sharon's time just quickly. You've been doing a lot of, away from music, you've been doing a lot of videos, inspiring and motivating people on the very same thing. You've been talking about mental health. I think if we were to look at the mental health issues of many of us who, you know, maybe not just in the industry, but also outwardly, there's a high percentage of us who go through mental health issues, you know, and you've been very vocal about that, you know. So while I hand back to Sharon, talk us through that.
Well, in the music business, there's a lot of people, there are a lot of artists, creative people with issues. There are a lot of people in our communities with issues, and maybe it's a cultural thing, but no one wants to admit to anything because they find shame in everything. And I just wanted to bring it out to people that, you know, it's a stressful time we're living in, you know, and you never know what the next person is going through. So you can't assume, you know, if you see someone behaving a certain way, you can't assume that it has anything to do with you. You can't take it personal. You know, they're going through their own struggles. We lost a musician, a talented musician from our circle. He's from England, brother Earl Appleton. Lovely human.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Lovely human being.
Amazing. I know him. I know him.
And at the start of the COVID lockdown, you know, the pressure got to him, and no one knew that, you know, what was going on with him. And it looked like he ended up taking his own life. So, you know, I just wanted us to be aware, you know, and be kind, you know, and give people space to talk. If someone have an issue, you know, be an ear to them and just hear them out and think. You're not a psychologist, you know, you're not expected to solve the problem, but just be aware that people are going through things. And if you see somebody behaving a certain way or reacting a certain way to you, it doesn't have to be about you. You know, it's not everything is about you. It's about them. You know, yeah, you're in that position, but just try to separate yourself from the thing and be aware that, you know, mental health is very, very crucial. If you need to go talk to someone, go and talk to someone. It's allowed, you know, and it's your private business. Go see someone. If you need to talk and you find that you don't have anyone to talk to, there's always people that you can go talk to. One quick second. The love of my life is calling me, and I hate to put her on that. Baby, I will call you right back. I'm doing the interview. I will call you right back. I'll call. Them laughing at me. I'll call you right back. Yeah.
Yes.
That's nice. That's
very nice. But we got, don't feel no way, but we're gonna touch upon that. We're gonna be coming back to that.
Talk to him.
Yeah, so I want to go back to what you were saying, because you just called somebody's name who I met a few years ago. You said Earl Appleton.
Yeah.
Earl Appleton plays the keyboards. He was jazz, he was everything.
Yeah.
That Earl Appleton, right?
Yes.
And I didn't know, I think when we met, because my husband you know, plays the drums. So usually people call him from all over, but like, you know, we need Elliot, blah, blah, blah. So we met him then, and then he and I created a bond because he's originally from England.
Yes.
The nicest guy, extremely
beautiful person.
He's a beautiful soul, because again, we connected, we exchanged numbers, and I was very shocked, but I did not know what happened to him, because I said, oh, you know, you got to come over. I'm going to make sure and keep the links, you know, you come over and we'll just keep it going. So you telling me that this was an apparent suicide, because I couldn't figure out. I said, this guy was in excellent health. It was just, you know what I mean? It was a big thing. So in regards to the mental health, what a lot of us are not doing is doing even wellness checks on each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're keeping in touch with people, you're making them know that they are still relevant, because this has been going on for a long time. I named one artist, oh my gosh, she's an R&B artist. When I remember her name, I'll tell you. And I met this woman. And because, I mean, she contributed.
Phyllis Hyman?
Hyman.
Phyllis Hyman.
Phyllis Hyman. And I met her. That's exactly right. You know I was going. And I met this woman, a statuesque. She was a beauty. Like when I was like, oh my, she didn't even seem real. And because she did not feel that she was relevant still in the industry, as the industry is evolving, younger people are coming in, that beautiful soul took her life because she didn't feel relevant. And that is what is going on in today's society, the simple fact. And social media has a lot to do with it.
Yes. And Naomi Judge just took her life too.
Yes. It's so many people in this industry that are taking their lives or just neglecting their own health because they don't feel relevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So nobody's not really doing their due diligence in doing wellness checks. And I say that in the context of whoever they're working with, their team. Like you have a team, right? You got your team. Everybody's always going to be checking on each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And Star and I are a team. We don't have to be doing the show to not talk. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk, how you doing? What's going on? And if anything's bothering him, you're going to tell me. And I'm going to do my due diligence to be like, why, you know, this, that, and the other, you know, pull him out of it. We are not doing this for each other, even as a culture. And it's a big deal. Because we dismiss it. People tend to dismiss all of that and not realize mental health is a real thing on all levels. On all levels. It doesn't have to be music. It could be anything personal going on in their life. And just that word, just that little word to be like, nah, man, it's okay. There's no stigma. There is no stigma. So it's a big thing, and it's something Tenstar and I have always discussed when it comes to the mental health. It is a big deal. And we have to be cognizant of the fact that these things, I mean, we can do things to help. The little wellness checks. What you doing, man? You good? Everything all right? All right. You know what I'm saying? Just checking in. So you speaking about your team, it's this team effort, and you, because I know some of the people that have been, that are on your album, you know, on the album that you did, and they've gone through, I've seen a couple of them go through some trials and tribulations.
Yes.
I know about these things, and I'm like, wow, I'm just happy to see you're in a space where a Laury Webb could be like, hey man, it's okay, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Give them a little bly there. Come on, man, we're gonna do this. That's a beautiful thing what you're doing. So I commend you. 10 stars, salute your 100 stars. You know what I'm saying? 10 stars. This is like, it's a big deal what he's doing, because when people feel lost, right? In the area where you are, Larry, when people are lost and you are there to stretch your hand out, it's a big deal, you know?
Yeah, I take it personal, yeah. It means a lot, you know, because on a real level, you know, outside of the hype, human beings is human beings. And and I check for my people, them, you know, and when I say my people, I mean, you know, musicians, the people that I know, you know, and so I try to if you pass it on, you know, to one and things. So I make these videos letting people know, you know, it's okay. You know, I'm not being preachy, I'm not anything. I'm just trying to do my part to just say some things and, you know, brighten up your morning or anything, you know, act stupid in a way or silly or whatever, you know. However, whatever will bring a smile to your face, because, you know, I don't know what you're going through, but I know we're all going through things right now because it's very, very trying times right now. And we have to try to help to keep one another going, you know, in some form or fashion.
Yeah, it is. And people need to, it's hard for people to talk out, to even acknowledge it themselves. But you have to recognize sometime, hey, I feel this person's going through some things, you know. I mean, even personally, for us, for me and my husband, we had a loss like that. It was a contribution of everything around. And this person just felt like, I don't want to be here. And it was very tragic. It is not a nice thing. You know what I mean? So, again,
say and be very kind and you know, sensitive to other people's needs.
Right.
And it's something that me and you have talked about, you know, having a show where we talk about mental health. We also had a gentleman called Big Stone, who's an ambassador down there in Jamaica, you know, who is doing some great works in the communities all over Jamaica. And, you know, Big Stone shares with us maybe well over 90% of Jamaicans are going through mental health issues, you know, which is serious. So, you know, there's relevance to this conversation that we're having, and I applaud you for raising that awareness through your music also. You understand? And I think it's also important for us to highlight that, you know, when we see something as important as what you have tried to bring forward, you know. In terms of moving forward with this conversation, and again, I need to applaud you for the videos that you do, because I do listen to the videos where you encourage and you try to see people through their day. I have to tell you, for me personally, whatever I'm going through in my day, your motivational speeches, inspirational speeches, lift me up.
Oh man, I'm glad. Blessed. I'm glad.
I've saved that conversation for this day. You've seen me through my day. If I'm going through something bad, I listen to what you're saying. And it's so ironic that what I may be going through is what you're speaking about is like confirmation to me. You know what I mean? And I urge you to just keep on doing what you're doing, because it does work. Whether you get the acknowledgement or not, I'm telling you, it works. You know? Yeah, man. So before we go any further, I have to give you one of these, right? I have to give you one of these.
Thank you.
You're so stupid.
That's huge, you know, when you get the applause, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So hold on. Before I go any further, I just want to acknowledge something. So do you realize that this man said, it's the love of my life and I don't want to just dismiss her. So we're going to talk about her for a second. How long have you been with the love of your life and where did you meet her? We have to touch upon that. We have to acknowledge her, because the smile on this man's face shows you all.
He's getting shy.
Yes.
Oh my God, he's covering his face.
We have to expose him, because
you didn't take him there. You didn't just do that.
I did.
Oh Lord,
things that we didn't forget. I said we're gonna catch up with that. Let me talk about some serious stuff. Let me come back to. So Larry,
yes,
go on with it. Go on with it. The love of your life.
Yeah. Oh, we met her in Jamaica, and you know. And firstly, from the first time I heard her voice on the phone, I knew that, you know, she did things to my body.
Yes, man, talk up the things that make people know about real life.
I'm okay. You know, I'm okay. She make, you know, she's She's good people. She's good people. She supports what I'm doing, and you know, she's a beautiful human being, and you know, she's the love of my life. What can I say?
That is a beautiful thing, because you know what? That is important to our well-beings as well. Having that person who supports what you're doing, it is big, speaks volumes, where you feel so comfortable to move in the directions that you do and know that that support is there. I'm sorry, I had to touch on that. You think somebody was going to make you leave that out, you must be mad. The man say, oh, it's the love of my life. Oh, you have one, or we going to talk about?
Very not easy, you know. She not easy at all.
Hey, listen, me go and dig in that it. Me go and dig in that it. But I'm happy to hear that. You know what I mean? I'm happy to hear that, because not everybody can say that.
We need more of those stories, though, don't we? The love stories, you know, within
It's a
the
love
industry.
story. Yeah, love story.
It's okay for ballads and Rastaman to be in love, right?
Yeah, man. Listen, what I'm saying, the woman is in love with that dreadlock. Inez in love with that dreadlock. That's you. And she loves you, and that's what it is. That helps you.
And he said, I have to take this call 10 star.
Yes, you understand. And sad to say that,
That's
so you know
respect right there.
That's respect right there. Okay, so
let's give my black. Let's give my black. I'm shy.
Yeah, I'm shy. I'm like, yes, she's a nice girl.
But I want to move on to your vault music before we end the show. I think it's important to talk about a lot of music that, you know, artists may have in their vaults that they leave there to gather dust, never do anything with it, and they just leave it there to just burn away. Maybe some of them even pass away, and then it's unearthed afterwards. It seems what you're saying is that recognize what you have in your vaults, just be bold enough to have faith and just release them into the atmosphere. Talk to me about that concept.
Well, a lot of creative people are filled with self-doubt, and we allow external forces to guide our movements, to guide our decisions. Right. We rely on people. What's the word I'm looking for? We rely on people to validate what it is that we're doing, and because of that, we tend to create works and then put them aside because we don't feel so ready. Or maybe one or two little man say, "Nah, man, I need to tune that man," or whatever. It's just something negative. What I want them to do is to understand that there are millions of people out in the world. You know, put your stuff out, put your things out there, you know, and give them the upper. That's why you created them. You created them to be heard. So put them out, you know, and take your chances. You know, people are going to like them, you know, and they're out there, and that's your legacy. And once you're gone, we were not guaranteed to be here forever. And once you're gone as an artist, you know, this is your body of work that defines who you are. If nobody hears them, if they're not available and accessible, as an artist, you know, were you really here? You know, what were you doing? What were you creating? You know, so just get them out, get out yourself, you know, just take a chance, let them out, let them breathe. You know, now is the time to do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, said with so much passion.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Russian the passion.
No, and it's too much people, you know, because I know the trials and tribulation that I went through. I know the anxiety that I feel, that I experience. So I imagine that there are a lot of artists out there, creative people who experience the same anxieties, and I want them to know, if I can do it, you know, if I can release my songs, you can release your songs.
Right.
You know, just release them. You never know. Just really, you created them. They're your babies. Be proud of your babies. You know what? When you're afraid somebody going to say your baby ugly or your baby teeth crooked, release the thing and let the chips fall where they may, because it's your creation and it's something to be proud of. You created that, you know.
Before we reach out to the audience, because we like to do, give some questions to the audience before we end the show. I want to take you to a place where, how do I put it? In terms of learning the music industry, know what the industry has done to many of our greats. What did you do to ensure your place that you didn't go through what many of the greats went through, which is whatever there was due onto them was stifled away from them? What did you do to secure yourself and to educate yourself on that?
Well, I read books, I read the stories of those who came before me, all of the artists in whatever genre, all the hardships that they went through. I read up on copyright laws. I read up on the music rights organization, and I registered my things as best that I could, and I have my things set up. So if 25, 30 years after my passing, if one of my songs gets used and it makes money, there's a mechanism in place that my family can eat the food off of it.
Right.
So if I don't eat the food, my family can eat the food, and I try my best to protect myself that way, and we try to educate each other, because nowadays everybody is trying to be more business savvy. Right. So we try to focus also on that. I'm not the best when it comes to that, but I do the best that I can, to secure my rights. We all get beat every now and then. I have some records over in Europe there where I hear is part of collector's item, and them they're selling them back and forth amongst collectors. I don't make any money off of it, but I'm humbled that that people value my thing that way. What I just, I try to be wise in what I'm doing. I try to maintain income coming in at all times, so that way I can take care of my bills, because I don't want to end up out on the street and be another cliche story. And try to focus on the business aspect of things much more than I did back in the day. Back in the day, it was about fun. It's okay, it's fun and business time now. I can have fun in my business, and that's what I try to do. And we try to encourage each other, to register our songs and, do what we're doing and set it up so that you can make money off of it. If not now, then maybe later. If not you, maybe your generation, can profit off of it. Yeah. That's why we're doing this thing anyway, because it's supposed to be for our families. This is what we choose to do in order to secure our families.
What does Laury Webb have for the future in terms of your solo projects?
Well, I'm doing a spoken word album, where I create characters. For one of them is a trilogy of bad boy pieces where I, it's not really Laury Webb, it's that way out there. So we do the thing, what I mean? So yeah, that type of thing. And I did a voiceover for a cartoon, and it's been shot right now. I voiced for an Asian grandmother, if you can believe that.
Imagine.
Wow.
And it's doing the film festival circuit, and they're shopping it to network TV, and I was promised that I will have a recurring role once it gets picked up. I'm been working on a play for several years. I'm trying to come up with the third and final act, and hopefully I can get that mounted. I have a screenplay that I want to seriously start shopping again, and see if I can get somewhere with that. And I just want to remain creative and, you know, till I can't hold a pen or I can't type on the computer or whatever. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your input. You remind me of the great Fragga Ranks down there in the New York region too, because he's got into acting himself.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring him on the show. Actually, he's gonna come in, but that will be in July sometime. But Sharon, it's been great having Laury Webb on our show. Do your thing, girl. Reach out to the audience.
It has been amazing, Larry. We're so excited because you're so multifaceted, and I think what I admire the most is not just the music, but going out and touching the stage. You know what I mean? We actually need more of that. You know what I mean? We need more of us doing that, doing our thing on there. So it is amazing. It's wonderful. Don't forget me, you know, me can be a character.
No. I love it.
Right. You need me, call me up. Come. Okay. So this is the time. This is the time. We're coming up to the end of the show, but there's so many people here today, and I'm sure one or two. We heard from Barry Biggs. I love you, Barry Biggs. You is the man, always. Anybody else in the chat, in this room, in this platform that would like to say something to Larry, you know, ask him a question or just continue to give him his flowers today, please speak up. Would love to have you. Love to hear you.
I love the chat.
So,
in the chat room, they've been making some comments and stuff. I've been reading them. And
yeah, we love it. That's why the chat, you know, the platform, you guys were saying something. So he's here. Please, Barry, you guys.
Barry, where you want to say?
Well, I just want to say I'm proud of my cousin. I mean, we come from a musical family, you know, it's not just me and Larry alone.
So we here.
Who's in the business as well, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm proud of Larry. I mean, I remember one time when he was about 15 or 16.
Not the things, Barry. Talk it.
Talk it up.
I met him over by one of my cousins, a house singer. At the time I was a singer already and doing myself. And he came out. There was a party there, and he came outside and said, because you know, I'm in the business. Something like that. Can I say, yeah, man. We start, we must play the keyboards, but I don't think he must start to sing it, you know? So I'm proud of you, Larry.
Thank you, B.
Oh, thank you, Barry. Thank you. Anyone else? That was very nice.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Anybody else?
Greetings.
Greetings, Sydney.
Hi.
Sydney.
How you doing?
Spill the beans.
No, really, but Larry, you know, big up, man. You know, you take a different lane in music, and you know, I appreciate you for that. But you know, as a singer, you're also an actor, and you have a skill which you don't tell the people about. He has a great voice doing voiceovers. There's also a career in that, and he has this great idea for a one-man show. On off, we push him to do one-man show.
That's it, then.
Talk the things, Larry.
Yes, Larry. On the spot. Talk up the things, Larry.
I saw the video with you and them old ladies there.
Yes. Boyfriend, right? Was that the boyfriend? Oh yeah, I love that. That was nice.
If when they went to bed and then all of a sudden they struggled out with the stroller.
But I say this all to say that if you look at other genres of music, when sometimes when the artist gets to a certain level, be successful money-wise or just been in business for a while, they do take other avenues, which I hope. And I think Larry has the experience in the film business and the theater business. I think it'd be a conduit to help other people move on. Even Marcia had a too. Yeah. So I'm really kind of pushing the hope that so we don't have to just stick with music all the time, because we just get music online, you know, your incomes are limited. But if you have this gift and aptitude to move it to other areas, I think you should go for it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Especially
I mean, look at this
musically.
video. I mean, the concept of this video with everything gone up. I don't know if you saw the video.
Yeah.
The styling and the staging of it. There's another video he has. What's the one that what the guy did for him in Atlanta?
The boyfriend, that's what she was talking about. Boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Boyfriend,
whole
yeah.
concept, I think we could use that in our genre of music more. So, you know,
Yeah.
you just got to go for it.
That's what I said.
Expert advice.
All right, man. Big up.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sydney.
Thank
Yeah,
you
man.
so much. Thank you.
All
Yeah.
right. Anybody?
Yes, Sharon. Sharon says, oh, yes, this is true. Yes, Sharon, thank you. Yes, you're right.
Sharon Bentley Packy, yes, yes.
Larry, you know that I'm always on your side.
Yes.
We're coming from a long way back. So, you know, I'm just gonna let everybody say what they have to say. But for me, I can only congratulate you on everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, respect.
Yes, sis.
Thank you,
Yes,
Sharon Bentley in Germany. Anybody else? Anybody else want to give people the chance to say, ask Larry anything they may want to ask anybody? And if not, we shall just progress. Well, Larry, I have to say, if there's nobody else, that it's been an absolute pleasure to entertain you on this show and for you to share with us your musical journey and your history, you know. We hope you've enjoyed yourself here.
This was fun.
Yeah, man. We've enjoyed your journey. We absolutely love your works. Everything you're doing is working. We look forward to what you have in the future also. Anything you want to say to the people? How can people follow you, find out about you, whatever is going on in the future?
Well, hashtag Laury Webb. You know, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on TikTok, and my team is always putting out whatever I'm doing. I'll keep you informed on, you know, hashtag Laury Webb. That will get you everything.
Anything you'd like to say to anybody out there right now who might be listening in?
I would like to thank each and every one of the artists who have supported me in this journey. I would like to thank everyone out there who has shown an appreciation for the work that I do and that we all do. I would like to thank all the reggae artists and performers out there that are still doing it and are still being true to themselves and being true to the music and showing respect for the stage and for the music. I want to thank each and every one that tuned in, taking the time out of your day to tune into this interview today. I want to thank you and Sharon for entertaining me and having me on your show. It's a warm feeling. My mom will be so happy. Thank you.
Man, thank you, mommy. Sharon, you're not going to let him go without him singing a song for the ladies, right?
Well, this is true too, but before we go, Larry, thank you so much. I've always been a fan. I met you in New York a few times actually, but because I'm a friend of Marcia's, but it's been an honor and I'm so proud, so proud that you're doing, you know, not just the music, but the acting thing. You're giving, you know what I'm saying? You're starting something, or you've started something.
Yes.
I think you realize where it's going to take you because you have now opened doors for certain people. So we all welcome it, we can't wait, because I'll be the first one in the front stage to support shows. God bless you on your journey.
Thank you.
Look forward to what's coming because God has blessed you abundantly.
Thank you.
Know that. So before you go, of course the ladies are in the room, sing a little something. Would you look at Frank Sinatra, Tom Jones, self? You know, you mix of all these things. And it's true, you know, and Ken Booth, he has that whole flair, so I see it. So you have to drop a little something.
Okay, I'll see. I can't explain why I love you. There's more than one reason. So I can't explain why I feel the way I feel, girl. All I know is I do, and it's true. When I first saw your face, you took my breath away. A blind man could tell that I was under your spell. I saw your picture, it was hanging on a wall, and I knew then there hung my destiny. Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear it? I'm telling you, this man really is a local Ken Boot, Frank Sinatra tongue, all of it in there. It's
Thank
all
you,
in.
Sharon.
That was crucial, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Larry. You know, you're the man. Love and
Thank you
respect.
very much.
Always love and respect.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, my friend.
People, we're going to end the show with that particular song called Boyfriend. Join us next week, Thursday, where UK's Queen, Lovers Rock Queen, Donna Marie is going to be our guest all the way from Jamaica. She's in Jamaica at the moment, so she's going to be live and direct from Jamaica. If you've never heard of her before, join us next week, Thursday, right here. All right. So big respect to each and everyone. I'm going to play this track and we're out of here. Laury Webb, salute, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, na, na, na. Oh, yeah. Ah, na, 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 na. I can't explain why I love you. There's more than one reason. So I can't explain why I feel the way I feel, girl. All I know is I do, and it's true. When I first saw your face, you took my breath away. A blind man could tell that I was under your spell.
Reggae party, bless up yourself.
Picture it was hanging on the wall. I knew then there hung my destiny. I'll never take your love for granted.
DJ Maestro, bless up yourself.
To me, I know, when I need someone, shoulder to lean on, you are always there for me. So I don't want to be just your boyfriend.
Good friend Barry Biggs, bless up yourself.
I'm someone you can depend on. So I don't want to be, no. I don't want to be just your boyfriend, no.
Well, that's all, folks. That's my line. Step aside, babe. Let a star do this. That's one. That's all, folks.
Can I go home now?
I'm 10-Star General from Stockhead Promotions, and I'm out of here.